Hello YouTubers and welcome to another episode where we get to do a 2K, another opportunity to see how fast we can go for 2,000 meters. I'm here in the Yam Cave version 2.0 with the Yam Squad flag behind, but it's a little bit hot in here with the sun coming in outside, so I'm going to move the erg into the kitchen. We're in isolation, so we're sticking it in the house, we're keeping indoors. And in the kitchen is very, very cool. So there's should be enough space. As we've got some puppy here playing with a toy. Isn't that right, Dobby? Yes. So we're going to move the erg into the kitchen and then get our warm-up started. Warm-up wise, similar to what I've always done before a 2K, making sure I am properly warmed up and getting a good sweat on. Right now I've got a couple of layers on, so I'm making sure even before the warm-up I'm reasonably warm. Obviously staying hydrated and everything too, but the warm-up itself will consist of about 10 minutes steady, really steady, maybe even about 2K rather than 10 minutes. And then about 1 to 2K of UT2, sort of 130 heart rate, and then I'm going to keep on sort of building up, doing some burst building up through the rates and wanting to see the split, see the rates that I want to see for my 2K itself. So we're going to move this erg right here from Yam Cave V2 into the kitchen. So let's get to it. And we've made it into the kitchen. Ergo here. Now let's warm up. And we've made it onto the rowing machine. Time for a 2K test. We'll be interested to see how we do. I've actually got live streaming on over here. Hello to the Yam Squad, 450 plus people watching, which adds some pressure, makes things a bit different. But got 5 minutes before the 2K, warmed up, a bit sweaty, keeping hot, not trying to expend too much energy now. So let's get to a 2K on the rowing machine. Okay, Yam Squad, we've made it to the 2K here, and I'm taking my first strokes. I've decided to experiment a little bit with taking bigger strokes for a bit longer as we settle in after 7-8 strokes, still faster than 2K pace, instead of only 1 or 2 pushing up to 2K pace straight away. So that's 13 strokes and I'm at pace. This does a couple of things that I'm generally not really used to. If you look at the average split there, 124 right now, it's very much lower than my average if it would be if I did the normal slower strokes. which means that I can almost not take it easy, but almost think, okay, my first 500, I've taken those first big strokes, and I don't necessarily have to do anything because the first 500 average will be good because of those first 10. But there is a fine line between pushing really hard and then blowing up because you went too hard in that first 10. So there's a line that you can kind of experiment with, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Today I think I've got it pretty close. As you can see, we're almost at 500 meters, and my split is just gently climbing up to that 127 or 127 and a half for my target of below 550. So it's been working. It worked really well today, and that's just something I'm going to keep experimenting with, whether it's making those strokes harder. Maybe I do more than sort of 10, 11 hard strokes. Maybe I do 20. If we look back to the analysis of the Russian at Indoor Worlds, he did 40 seconds, 40 entire seconds, really hard, really a lot faster than his pace. So maybe that's something I'll experiment with and just put myself in the pain cave very early. But now I'll see you, or you'll hear me a little bit later on when I knew kind of the 2K PB was on. And right there, not sure if you saw that, maybe rewind a couple of seconds, but just past 800 meters and a little bit of a smile on my face there, because it was at that point that not that I knew the score that I was on for, but as you can see in the average, 127.5, and I'm already counting strokes. So I'm counting sort of 10 strokes at a time, and to me, each 10 strokes isn't too difficult. And sometimes you can get into a pattern when you count strokes and you're thinking, just make it to the next 10. Just make it 5 more strokes to the next 10 and then do another 10. But this was, I'm counting 10 strokes just to kind of keep track and not really having any issues. So I knew that at that point, if the target is at 550 already and I'm feeling decent with another smile there, I've got a little bit of a wind left. As we drop down 0.1 seconds there to 27.4, I keep seeing, I think I saw 47 projected, 48 projected. So I wanted to keep that alive, but at the same time using my brain and the thought of what I did in Paris about getting to 200 and have nothing in the legs left. I wanted to stick to those 27s, stick to those 26s, and just gradually push the average down rather than really just winding up the rate to, like Paris was 55. I'm already just shy of 40, so my rate is relatively high, but I didn't want to really go full yam and not have anything left in the tank. But I knew that looking at the projected time and basing off of how I felt, I knew that there was a PB about to happen. Oh yeah!
warm.
No, don't do that!
Oh, so, just finished the 2K, a PB of so 5:49, and there, I wonder if it rounded on the screen. Let's cancel that. That's a PB. 1 second faster than my lifetime PB. That profile is pretty different to what I usually or have done previously. There was a negative split from after the first 500, as you can see. So 26.8, which was mostly down to the first sort of 10 strokes being bigger. And then that's pretty much on pace for 550. Then I really felt it in the second 500. So that's that slowdown by about a split. But hopefully it all made sense talking through the 2K itself, because that was a really, really interesting one for me. Like I've already said, I knew it was on through about 800, but I didn't know by how much. I didn't know if it was 0.1, 0.2 a second. I had a dream last night or 2 nights ago that I was going to get 49.6, and actually someone commented you're going to get 49.6, which I was like, well, maybe that's the world try to say I'm going to get 49.6. Then I saw the projected time say 49s, 50s, and I thought to myself, let's prove life differently, let's prove it wrong, and see if we can get into the sort of lower than 49.6. Then so dropped it down, like just by a little bit, because I learned from Paris that I have the ability to sprint, but you have to judge it right. And so in this one, when I was starting to push on the split, it wasn't dropping 3-4 splits. It was dropping just 1 or 2 here and there. So then the time was coming down, ended up with 5:49, which it's really interesting to say that, because 5:50 was my PB since I think 2017, and it's been a very interesting road to get into here. So thank you so much, yamsquad, for all the support. If you watched the live stream, thank you for watching the live stream. Like, it was on a whim that I did that. I thought, well, I don't have the proper equipment that I got to make it better quality, but I thought, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm doing the 2K. I have the webcam on the computer, which would be better quality than the previous camera I used. So if you were happy with the last one, then you're probably going to be just as happy with this one. And then going forward, we'll try and step up the quality with the live streams. But like I said, it was more of a can it be done, and the amount of people. There's peak watchers, just over 1,000, and it was really, really interesting to have that. Like, obviously I couldn't hear any of you, but to me, like, I could see, if you can see here, so I've got the live stream data center there, and I can see here, so I can see comments firing up on the screen. And so I can't see the comments mid 2K, but I can see in the corner of my eye, they're coming in thick and fast. And even if they weren't positive or whatever, I took it as cheers. So thank you, yamsquad, for spurring me on, and to do a PB. To do a PB in the kitchen, in isolation, with a questionable prep period. Like, I did 100k last week in one day, which isn't ideal for speed work, but it's just kind of proving that what I'm doing is improving those weaknesses, and just has to be small steps forward over time consistently, which over time creates giant leaps. But that will be it. I'm going to probably lie on the floor for a bit, throw up some more probably, post 2K recovery wise. Before we get to that is get through the painful stage as best you can. Some people like to walk, some people like to lie still. But get through it, breathe, and then refueling, especially if you've got other workouts to do at another time. So hydration, your body's going to be on fire for the rest of the day, if not more. So the next couple of days are very important. Just taking it easier, making sure you're listening to your body. But now, definitely going to go recover. And as always, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Hopefully you enjoyed something a little bit different once again, because we're always trying to bring a bit of variation. Because remember, variation is key to, one of the keys to motivation. And I'll see you, what day is this? Day of the week, I'll see you the next day. Oh yeah.